Parking your car in proximity to a fire hydrant is a topic surrounded by a lot of urban legends and half-truths. So let's dive into the specifics. First off, the regulations around fire hydrants are typically quite strict, and for good reason. In the event of a fire, firefighters need immediate and unhindered access to hydrants. This isn't negotiable, and when seconds count, you don't want to be the person responsible for any delays. Now, when it comes to parking on the other side of the street in relation to a fire hydrant, the legality of this action really boils down to local ordinances. In Portland, Oregon, where I'm from, the city guidelines explicitly state that vehicles must not park within 15 feet of a fire hydrant. This is a common regulation in many cities and towns across the United States. However, the other side of the street part introduces a bit of nuance. In most scenarios, as long as you are on the opposite side of the street and that street is wide enough, you are technically not within the restricted zone directly surrounding the hydrant. However, technically isn't a word you want to lean on too heavily when it comes to parking laws. Cities might have specific rules about this, especially if the street is narrow. In some cases, parking on the opposite side of a narrow street could still obstruct emergency vehicles if they need to position themselves strategically to access the hydrant. Here's the best advice. Always consult your local parking regulations to understand the specific rules in your area. Most of the time, these can be found on your city or town's official website. For those of us living in Portland, the Portland Bureau of Transportation provides clear guidelines on parking norms around fire hydrants, as well as other parking restrictions. Moreover, irrespective of legalities, think about the practicality and ethics of your parking choice. In an emergency, would your parked car on the other side of the street potentially cause issues for firefighters trying to save lives and property? If the answer could be yes, then maybe it's worth finding another spot to park. Ultimately, the rule of thumb with fire hydrants is to err on the side of caution, not just to avoid fines, but to ensure you're not inadvertently creating a situation that could hinder emergency response efforts. After all, it's not just about following laws but being a considerate and responsible member of the community.